Hey there, everybody. Today is our first episode in a series of 8 called Riding with Confidence. This first one is called Acknowledge Your Feelings and Set Realistic Goals. I'm going to give us just a couple of minutes for everybody to jump on here live who want to join us. And I'm super excited that you have taken the time out of your day to be a part of this. We're going to spend 30 minutes exploring our feelings and how we be with them and still set goals for ourselves and our horses that will set us up for success. What I want to do right now is build on our last live video, which was focused and calm horses. And we are their leaders. And so they feed off our energy as well as we can feed off of theirs. So what I want to take a moment to do, which we're going to do at the beginning of every video, is we're going to just get settled down in our chairs and take some nice deep breaths, letting whatever has gone on in our day that brought us up to this moment, letting it go and being in the present moment. And how we get in the present moment is by taking nice deep breaths. And when I say deep breaths, it's into our belly. And with each deep breath into our belly, as we let it out, feel how your body just sinks down into our seat. Now, there may be some of you who don't want to do that. For whatever reason, you feel silly, you don't find the value in it, you're not used to it, it makes you dizzy when you do it. That's okay. That is the beginning of this series, this session, which is acknowledge your feelings. And if you're noticing that when I ask you to be present and take a nice deep breath, that maybe some resistance comes up for you, acknowledge that feeling. Maybe you feel uncomfortable in acknowledge that feeling. Awareness of what's going on inside of our bodies is the first step to changing the way that we show up. Now, taking nice deep belly breaths and becoming grounded is what our horses do all the time, because it puts them in their parasympathetic nervous system, releasing endorphins and releasing serotonin so that they can be present and grounded and aware of what's going on around them. When we're with our horses, they're aware of what's going on within us more so than we are aware, because they're masters at multisensory awareness, which means they can feel, they can smell, they can see, they can sense, they can taste, they can hear everything all at once. We can't do that unless we set out our intentions to learn how to master that and allow them to be our teachers to learn how to do that. So in this series, we're going to be talking about acknowledging our feelings and then setting realistic goals. So what do I mean by acknowledging our feelings? Well, being willing to become aware of when you're feeling frustrated. And this isn't just with your horses. This is in day-to-day stuff. But the reason it begins to build a healthy foundation into riding with confidence is we have to be aware of what we're feeling, and we can't just shove it down, stuff it, fake it till we make it. Not with horses. Horses know if we're being true to ourselves and we're being authentic. They have the most sensitive, reliable bullshit meters you're gonna find in your life. And so we need to honor that, and we need to thank them for that. So if I am frustrated and I'm trying to hurry up and I'm trying to make my horse do something, they feel that. They don't want to be around that. It makes them feel unsafe and uncomfortable. If I'm scared, they feel that. And it puts them on heightened alert. How do they feel that? Well, in so many ways. They are masters at reading energy, so they can feel it in my energy. They can feel my heart rate racing, beating faster. They can sense that I'm taking short, shallow breaths. And so they turn to me and they look in their environment and they're like, what are you so afraid of? What do I need to know? What am I missing? They know when we lack the confidence to proceed with something. It could be as simple as haltering them. It could be saddling them up, getting on their back, and riding in the arena with other people, riding around the property, asking them to take a dewormer or a vaccine or go over the tarp. They feel if we're lacking the confidence. So the best thing that we can do to help us create that trusting relationship, that connection we want to have with our horses, and that partnership where our partner trusts us when they're uncertain or they're feeling fear or lack of confidence and they turn to us, can we show them that we might be uncertain, but we're going to breathe and we're going to be grounded and we're going to work through it together. So how do we do that? Well, the first thing I'd like to ask you all is, if you're watching this video, I can't see who you are, so comment in the comment section. Let me know who's watching and what kind of feelings have you acknowledged coming up with your horses? Or just in your day-to-day life, like, do you notice you're frustrated and you shove it down to try and just push through the day? Talk to me through the comments because I can't see who's with me. So, how can we acknowledge our feelings and still work to achieve a desired goal with our horses? Well, the first thing that I want to share with you is to set realistic goals that you can achieve with your horse based on the knowledge, the understanding that you have, the skill set that you have, and the tools that you possess to achieve these goals. It's important that we set realistic goals so that we feel successful and our horses feel successful. If we set our goals too high and we don't have the ability to achieve those goals, we're going to feel like a failure and our horses are going to feel like failures. And so the next time we go to pull our horse out of the pasture or their stall or their pen, and we set out to achieve something with them, they remember how they felt the last time we worked with them. And they may not want to join us. And how do we know if our horses want to join us? Do they meet us at the pen, at the gate, eager to come out with us? Or do they kind of go to the opposite side of the pasture or the pen and turn their butt to us? That kind of tells us how they felt about the last time they worked with us. It's good feedback. Acknowledge how that makes you feel inside. Does it make you feel like, oh God, my horse doesn't want to be with me? Well, I'm going to make him do it anyway. Acknowledge your feelings. Tune into your feelings. Take a deep breath and proceed regardless of how you're feeling. If you're feeling scared, acknowledge, I'm feeling a little uncomfortable. I'm feeling scared. Can I go halter up my horse and bring him out and groom him, or maybe not bring him out? If there's a situation, it's windy, there's a lot of activity going on in your facility, your horse is a little high-headed and it's making you nervous, well then it's okay to do stuff inside their enclosure. What I don't want you to do is to avoid doing things because you are feeling uncomfortable and you don't want to push yourself out of your comfort zone. That is what I don't want you to do. What I do want you to try and do is acknowledge, I'm feeling a little uncomfortable with the way my horse is behaving. I'm not feeling super confident. So what can I do? Can we walk outside of their pen and back into their pen a few times to feel good and to feel comfortable? To take those nice deep grounding breaths so that we both feel like we're in the present moment? Can I take them out to the hitching post and tie them up and groom them? Maybe I'm going to take them to the round pen and turn them loose and let them run around and get rid of some of their excess energy before I put their halter and lead rope on and do some groundwork. I am a huge believer in the power of groundwork, because everything that you want to do in the saddle, you first need to know how to do it with your horse on the ground. Because if you can't get your horse to back up, to go left, right, forward, on a circle or forward leading together with you politely, or making those transitions from walk, trot, canter on the lead rope. You won't be able to do it once you jump into the saddle and take your feet up off the ground. So groundwork is a way that you can work with your horse. Notice the feelings that are coming up. I'm feeling frustrated. I'm feeling uncertain. I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling strong. I'm feeling anxious. I'm feeling fear. Notice that by working with your horse on the ground. Work through those feelings by taking nice deep breaths and asking questions. What am I afraid of right now? And thoughts are going to come up. Well, I'm afraid that he's not listening to me. I'm afraid he's going to run over the top of me. I'm afraid that he's too anxious and excited. Acknowledge those feelings and then say, well, what can I do in this moment to help me feel more safe? Well, maybe we just hang out together. Maybe we just stand together and check out the environment. Maybe I pet him and breathe. When you breathe, when you focus on taking deep breaths, your mind can't be running wild with what if, because it's focusing on taking those nice deep breaths. It puts you in the present moment, which is where horses live. When they feel you take those nice deep breaths, it calms them. Maybe that's all you do. If you have had an experience that has created fear and lack of confidence between you and your horse, don't ignore those feelings. Be with your horse and breathe through those feelings together. You don't have to do something other than just be. Sit with them in their pen and let them eat grass and watch your horse and breathe and be present and grounded and notice the feelings that come up and breathe through those feelings. We tend to want our mind to jump in and feel those feelings and run the scenario through our mind that created those feelings, and that just gets us all short, shallow breaths, and then that sympathetic nervous system, and then our horse is like, Mom, what are you doing? What's wrong? We're just eating grass and hanging together. Feel the feelings. Observe the feelings, but don't jump into the mind spiral of what created that feeling. Stay in the present moment. I teach my students that I coach this technique of feelings. When we start feeling a feeling, our mind will start running the memory that created that feeling. My horse ran off with me. My horse stepped on me. My horse went over the top of me. My horse was acting crazy and I didn't know what to do. And that makes the feeling even more intense. Now we're in the feeling. So let's look at feelings like the ocean, okay? And we're sitting on the beach and we watch that wave of feeling emotions start coming up towards us, like fear or lack of confidence or anxiety. And it's washing, we're watching that wave as it's coming towards us, and it's building and building and growing, and it's welling up, and we just are sitting on the beach watching it. And as it comes to shore and it washes over our body, we feel the coldness. It washes over us. And if we're even maybe standing in the shallow part of the ocean and it's washing over us, we breathe and we witness it. We feel the sensations of it washing over us. But we know through our breath and through the present moment that the tide is going to go back out to sea. And it doesn't have to take us with it. It can wash over us. I feel fear. I know that this too will pass. It's going to wash back out with the tide. And I will be left standing here on solid ground, present and grounded. And it may wash out, and you watch the wave build and build as it gets closer, and then we feel it flood up against us, and we're in the middle of the feeling of that cold or warm sensation of anxiety or fear or frustration, and then it washes back out to sea. That is how you work your way through anxiety, frustration, confusion, fear, without jumping in and having the undertow take us away. And so, how do we do that with our horses? We set realistic goals. Today, I'm going to take my horse for a walk around the property. And when I feel those feelings come up, I'm going to stop and just breathe and stay in the present moment, and my horse will stay with me. And once that washes over me and goes back out to the sea, we're going to start walking together again. Or I'm going to play in the round pen on the lead rope, doing groundwork, sending them off into the circle, backing them up, sending them the opposite direction. And every time an emotion of frustration or lack of confidence or fear or anxiety starts to well up, I'm going to stop and I'm going to breathe. And I'm going to know that this too shall pass. And every time we breathe deep and allow that to pass while staying grounded in the present moment with our horse is beginning to trust us more and more and feel connected with us more and more. There's a thing called move closer and stay longer. And I teach this to my students, both for the horse and for themselves. If you're afraid of a situation, if you're afraid to approach that tarp or that water crossing or the scary part of the facility that you're at, or your horse is afraid, don't force yourself through that fear. Don't do that. Don't force your horse through that fear. That is teaching your autonomic nervous system not to trust you. It's teaching your horse not to trust you. Acknowledge your feelings and go to where you feel comfortable. Let's say it's a scary new something on the property covered in a tarp, or it's the tarp on the ground. And your horse is like, what is that? Don't go, oh, it's okay, and make them go right up to it. No, how would you feel if somebody was doing that to you about something you were afraid of? That is not creating trust. That is not helping to get over the fear. Go as close as your horse or you feels comfortable and stop. Breathe. Breathe deep down into that place, 2 inches below your belly button, into the center. It's called your power center. It's your pelvic bowl. It's where we find grounding, security, safety, and our power. Puts us in the present moment. Go up to as close as you and your horse can, where you feel safe, your horse feels safe. Stop and breathe and just be. And then set the goal, a realistic goal of, can we take 2 more steps closer? Just 2 more steps. That might be really, really hard for you or your horse. Because remember, you're a partnership. It may be easy for you, but it might not be easy for him. It may be easy for him and not so easy for you. Do it together. Paying attention to who is it the hardest for. Ask either yourself if it's harder for you than your horse, or ask your horse if it's harder for them. Can we take 2 steps? And when we do, just breathe. And depending on how hard that was really, really hard, and you made it to those 2 steps, and you're able to stay there and breathe and let some of that anxiety settle down, turn around and walk away. That's the success. We always want more. Well, that was good, so let's do 2 more. No, don't do that. Accept the win. And know that next time, because you celebrated the win and you stayed there until you could both breathe and be grounded, and then you walked away, that's the move closer, stay longer. Celebrate the win. Let your horse feel like a winner. Let yourself feel like a winner. And know next time you're going to be able, that is the new comfort zone. And next time you'll take 2 or 4 more steps closer. Take the time that it takes so that it's going to take you less time. If you try to rush it, shit's going to go south. It's going to go wrong. You're going to get even more frustrated. Your horse is going to get more scared. He's going to get more frustrated. You're going to get more scared, and you're going to put him away. Pissed off, frustrated, feeling like a loser, angry at your horse, and your horse feels like shit. Sorry for the language, but this is reality. Take it slow. Listen to your feelings. Don't let them run the ship. Acknowledge them. Breathe back into the present moment. Help your horse breathe back into the present moment. Acknowledge, my horse is scared. How can I help him find his way through this? Get a little closer. Breathe. Celebrate. Go do something. Let him eat some grass. Give him a nice massage. Just sit back and enjoy the environment with them. It's going to pay you dividends in the long run. So you guys, remember that I am here as your horsemanship mentor. I love sharing this with you. This community is here for me to share my wisdom and knowledge and experience with you. I do offer a 1-year mentorship program. I'm not trying to sell you anything, but I want you to know that if you're finding value in what I'm sharing with you, this is just the tip of the iceberg. But it's hopefully empowering you with enough that you can go out and be aware of how are you feeling. Breathe into the present moment. Allow that feeling to wash over you and share with you what you need to know from it. And then set some realistic goals. How can you move closer to your dreams and your desires without getting lost in the moment of the feelings? I would love to hear your comments and your ahas. What are you taking away from this video? In the comments, share with me any questions that you might have, because if you have them, there might be others that have them as well. So share them in the comment section so that I can answer them for everybody. And I love that you are joining me on these lives. If you miss it, it's going to replay. It's going to be in our video. It's going to be in the media tab up above underneath our picture of our cover picture. Hit media, hit videos, and then you'll find the replay so you can watch it over and over again. Next week, we will be back here, and the topic is going to be building trust through patience. So I'm really excited to share that with you. And each video is going to build on the last. So everybody, thank you so much for joining me. Remember to breathe, to be in the present moment and grounded. Your horse will love you for that. You will feel so much more empowered if you can make that a part of your regular routine. And we will see you in the next video or in the next live. Take care, everybody.